Welcome to Ground Control. I've got my old KINGKONG LDARC Tiny Wing 450X. I have ripped out the gyro, the SBUS receiver I had in it. I replaced it with a full-size 4-channel receiver, a plush, Turnigy plush 6-amp ESC, brushless ESC with a 5-volt 2-amp SBUS in it. One of my old 450 lipos. Now, would you believe that taking out the original ESC, because it was an opto ESC, took out the original ESC, took out the SBUS receiver, took out the gyro board, and installed these components in it. It's actually 3.2 grams lighter than it was with the stock components in it. Still got the same motor, the LDARC 1105 5000 kV, and I still have the original prop, the 3.8x3 ABS prop. So I rarely fly the planes in gyro mode, even if they have a gyro. You know, I always fly them in manual mode. And so I thought I would go ahead and replace the stock setup that they had in here, rip out the gyro, and then take it out and see how it performs in manual mode without any gyro in it. Because I kind of felt like even when I was flying it in manual mode that there was some kind of restriction from the gyro. I could never seem to get the roll rate as fast as I wanted to. I could never get the loops as tight as I wanted to. So we're going to see how it performs without the gyro in it and with a new ESC. I will see you out at the field. Okay, I'm back out here with the KINGKONG LDARC Tiny Wing 450 manual mode test after replacing the electronics. Wind on the ground is 5 to 7. Not the best conditions for testing it out, but we'll do. Alright, I launched that at 50% throttle, and I would say 50% throttle is a good cruising speed. That is a speedy little wing. The weight reduction was 3.2 grams from the stock electronics. My all-up weight with this old tired 450 milliamp 2-cell 450 milliamp 2-cell 30C lipo is 71.4 grams. Let's see what the roll rate looks like now. Ooh, how about that? And I wasn't even speeding through there. Alright, let's see a loop. Oh yeah. I think we're in business. Crank the throttle back a little bit. Man, I think I'm under 50% now. Yeah, I kind of had the feeling that the gyro was interfering with it a bit in manual mode. And right now, seeing the way this is flying and the way it's handling, I think that is true. I think that the gyro was interfering with it in manual mode. This feels a lot better. That's a fast roll rate now. Now, I couldn't get that before. Slow it down a little bit again. Loop. That is a much tighter loop than I could get before. Controls feel a lot better. Even in this 5 to 7 mile an hour wind. That's a pretty sweet little wing. I think I might recommend
just buying the airframe and putting your own electronics in it, because I like the way it's flying now a lot better than I did with the gyro system. And like I said, it's a little bit lighter than it was before. Pretty axial roll. Man, I wonder if it was limiting the motor too. I don't remember this wing having that much power. Did you see it push up through that big loop on this old tired lipo? I just don't remember that. No, I don't remember that at all. I think that gyro was definitely interfering with it. That's awesome. That's got plenty of power now, and before it just seemed like it was kind of lethargic on the power, and I was actually considering changing out the motor on it to get more thrust. I am really glad that I replaced that gyro system on this. That is cool. Throttle back again. A little wind. There goes my timer. Let's do another loop real quick. Oh yeah, it definitely did not power through loops like that before. Alright, let's do one more. Look at that. No, I think I need to add a little more throw on the elevator. But that is pretty sweet. I like that much better. And lo and behold, it has much more power than it had with the gyro system. I don't know why the gyro system would be interfering with it when you put it in manual mode, but I certainly think it was. But anyway, that was a pretty good test flight despite the wind. I'm definitely happy with the performance. I got to do a little fine tuning. I think the aileron is good. I think I need a little more throw on the elevator, and I think I'll be there. So as soon as I get this handling precisely the way I want it to, I will put together a setup sheet to publish for it. So meet you back at the HQ.
So what did you guys think of the performance of this KINGKONG LDARC Tiny Wing 450 after ripping out the gyro, replacing the receiver, replacing the ESC? I was thoroughly impressed with the way this little wing handled in the air today, and I never saw that happen with the stock, with the gyro, the stock ESC. Like I said during the flight, at one point I thought, I probably should put like a 1206 6,000 kV motor on here instead of this 1105 5,000 kV, because it just doesn't seem like it has enough thrust. And you saw it push through loops today. You saw how speedy it was. You saw the roll rate on it, and they're pretty axial rolls. And whenever I was flying it before, even though I would have it in manual mode with the gyro system, even though it looked stable enough, it always felt like it was a little twitchy in some places and a little mushy in others. Like I never felt like it was just me and the aircraft. It always felt like there was a lag somewhere. Either it would lag or one time and the next time it wouldn't lag. So it felt twitchy and then it felt mushy. And it definitely didn't have this amount of power. So what I think was happening with the stock stuff in it, the stock electronics, is I think that the gyro was interfering, either it was interfering with it in manual mode, or, you know, the signal wasn't bypassing the gyro from the receiver, you know, from the gyro to the receiver, or the receiver to the gyro to the servos. It always felt like, you know, you knew there was a middle there. You knew there was something in the middle between you and the controls on the aircraft. So I don't think it wasn't doing any stabilization, that's for sure, and it wasn't doing any self-leveling. But it just felt like I could set the aileron to 100% dual rate, and the rolls didn't seem to make that much of a difference. So it almost seemed like the rates. It almost seemed like a rate mode. You know, it wasn't manual mode. It almost seemed like a rate mode, and you could never get past whatever the rates that were programmed into the gyro. And obviously the stock speed controller that was in it was not driving that motor very well. Now the ESC that I put in it is just an old Turnigy plush 6 amp ESC with a 5 volt 2 amp SBUS in it. It's nothing special. It wasn't even designed for really high kV motors. But you saw that thing flying through the air. And the other thing that I noticed was when I was flying it with the stock configuration, and this is one of the reasons why I think the ESC was not driving this motor very well. And I reprogrammed the high end, the low end of the throttle several times. But there were several flights where I would be flying along, and all of a sudden the motor would desync. The motor in the ESC would desync. You just get stutter in the motor. And I was out there flying this today. I put 4 battery packs to it. I never had a single desync on it either. So I really like the motor and the prop combination. I mean, that really pushes this wing extremely well. I really like the LDARC. Now that I see what the motor can do, I like the LDARC 1105 5000 kV motor, and I like the 3.8 by 3 prop. It seems like they picked up the right prop for the right motor. But I don't like the ESC, and I don't like the gyro system. And this is like a new wing now. You know, ripping out the gyro, replacing the speed controller that just wasn't up to task, and replacing the SBUS receiver with a full size PWM receiver. I was really happy with that, and the performance that you saw today was on a very old 2S 450 milliamp LiPo 30C LiPo. So I can't wait to get these new LiPos in to use with this and with the other microplanes that I have. But I do miss having the LEDs. I thought the LEDs were kind of cool, but hey, I will abandon the LEDs to have the performance that I'm getting out of the swing now. So I think what I would recommend, because I really like the airframe a lot. What I would recommend is, rather than getting the plug and fly version of this, just buy the airframe. The motor and the prop work extremely well on this. So if you want to get this motor, it has 2.5 grams servos in it, and I would just use a lightweight full-size receiver like I have in here now. Get you some 2.5 gram servos that have full-size servo connectors on them instead of those micro connectors. Because I looked at the information on the servo. The servo is rated for, I think, 4.86 volts. So you can use a full-size receiver and pump out 5 volts to those servos, no problem. So yeah, get your own ESC, get your own receiver, get your own servos. I do like the motor and the prop combination. Just get the airframes and put the electronics in it. I think you're going to be a lot happier than buying the plug and fly version. But man, I'm gonna be taking this back out real soon. Well, the next time, my next flying session, I'm gonna take this back out with me again. Hopefully I'll have less wind next time. But man, that was a different wing today. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm glad that I pulled that stuff out, because I was going to replace the motor, and I don't think that would have done any good. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that test flight. I sure did. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.